This is my combat guide for Hogwarts Legacy, and I want to start off with talents because one of the most broken talents is available immediately. Endurance Potion makes you invulnerable and deflects projectile attacks back to enemies. This talent removes all the skill from the game because you are straight up invulnerable. You can flub around however you want with spells and you're just going to succeed. Which brings me to the first part of the guide. When in doubt, potion out, because potions are so outrageously overpowered. The Maximus potion gives you like triple the damage, and it breaks shields when you have the talent for that. So you can actually just like become invulnerable and then just mash basic attacks all the way through, and then you can kind of clear out any challenge along the way. Now, I made a potion ingredient guide, and I strongly recommend that you watch it. That way you can get tons of potion ingredients, and then you really just never have to worry about brewing potions. Look at all those resources. Just a little bit of farming, and you can have all the potions you want, and the Endurance Potion is stupid easy to make. So when you know how to farm Ashwinder eggs, and then just kind of clear out the dens for mongrel fur, or as you just naturally KO the mongrels in the wild, you just have more than you'll ever need. And then you just want to keep as high of a stock of potions as possible. You can hold up to 12 of each potion. You can also buy brewing stand upgrades, and then you just want to place them all down and brew as many potions as possible. Also, the hopping pots, very useful. So if you're having any trouble with combat, either during a quest or natural exploration, just bring potions and then spam them until you win. And really getting to level 16 is kind of a formality with the questing and natural exploration, and that's where you can get even more talent upgrades. Like I said, the Maxima Potion breaking shields kind of removes a lot of the skill expression from the game, so you can just go and spam that. You also really want to prioritize spell sets, that if you just have one set of spells and you're trying to use that for combat, then you have to switch it out for utility. It's not that fun. So being able to have like multiple sets for different kind of enemies and encounters can also be really good, and it means you can just kind of non-stop cast spells. And that just kind of shows something interesting about this game, where there's really no wrong way to play, that you can find your own kind of play style depending on how you want to go about it. Do you just want to spam potions and even combat plants? Combat plants are useful. I didn't go super hard into them, but as you can see, you just kind of can use all the fire spells. Or you can just like super control spell people, and there's a lot of fun stuff with that. Like if you depulso someone off a cliff, they just die immediately. So that's a good way of dealing with rangers that can be really pesky. You just target a ranger and then knock them off, or you can pull them to you, and then there's basic combos that the game teaches you. Like you can go Accio into Incendo, and then you can upgrade your Accio to pull multiple enemies. So you pull multiple people, and then you blow them up with Incendio. And those are some basic things that the game teaches you. So I just recommend doing the combat tutorial, and then you'll get a feel for it, and you can kind of develop your own combat style. But it's mostly about just abusing and breaking all of the elements of the game through talents, where we can go into the dark arts. So as you get further into the quest, you want to do Sebastian's questline, and you actually don't need AVADA KEDAVRA to be very powerful and very formidable inside of fights. That I really like this one. Striking an enemy cursed by Crucio leaves a projectile that curses a nearby enemy. And then you can actually upgrade your gear to do more damage to cursed enemies. So if you find the Unforgivable enchantment, you kind of just get to destroy everything, and it stacks. So I don't have like, oh, so my gear is going to augment my control spells, and I have some fire spells. No, it's just I Crucio someone, and then I just hit them until they curse everyone, and then everyone takes bonus damage, and I just win. Now, if you don't want to use curses, I don't really have much more to say to you, because it's just like the best way of engaging in combat. But one thing you can do is just like run around, spam all the tumble, group people up, and then you can use a Thunder Brew potion, and that's just going to do an insane amount of damage, especially when you have it upgraded. And then you can also just kind of pull people with Accio in, like all the rangers, and then you just destroy everyone with Thunder Brew potion. But I'd rather use curses, so let's go to my curse spell set. Let's go and curse someone, and then you just hit them, and then you just keep hitting them. They get obliterated, and then kind of everyone else around them dies, and then they take bonus damage and just stuff like that. Now, because there's only 3 curses, I really like having Defendo on my last slot, because it's just a crazy amount of damage, and you can also get the trait that makes it pass through enemies. And then until then, it's like, yeah, wait for cooldowns, hit people, blast them, and then just like Giga one-shot them. So that's kind of a cool thing about the combat in this game. You can effectively just jank all the broken stuff together however you want. You can have a full control set with like a little bit of fire and a little bit of extra damage, and you can make it work, or you can just spam potions and curses and make the game super easy. There's also other traits that have a lot of synergy. Dealing damage to a cursed target inflicts damage to all cursed targets. You can also make it to where people that are affected by Imperio, whenever they attack, they're inflicting a curse as well. I'm killing them before any of that matters, but you can just kind of have it. You can also make it to where other spells inflict curse, and then you go for the big wombo. Killing an enemy with AVADA KEDAVRA kills all cursed enemies. This is effectively what I go for. I drink an Endurance Potion, I'm invincible, I can stack all of the curses that I want, and then you one-shot. And that brings us to my personal Dark Arts combo that just seems to be the most broken thing in the game outside of the Endurance Potion, AVADA KEDAVRA, but it's weaving it all together. So, Focus Potion Potency, duration of Focus Potion will be extended when any spell from the spell set is cast during its use. Alright, so let's say you have AVADA KEDAVRA. You go and curse someone, you hit multiple people, because of it, it breaks shields, and then you can just go and kill everyone. But now it's on cooldown for a very long time. Sometimes you don't get all the enemies in an area, sometimes there's going to be multiple waves depending on the camp clearing out. Well, that's when we drink an Endurance Potion, we go to a Focus Potion, and then that's why I have all of these control spells over here, because you can just kind of mess around with someone. You can pull them, you can arresto them, you can do whatever. Also, I forgot to actually drink the Focus Potion, and we can also see that the drinking of the Focus Potion, oh, AVADA KEDAVRA is coming back real quick. So what you can do is you can take someone, and then you can still just kind of like use spells and whatever. You effectively have no cooldowns while permanently extending the duration of the Focus Potion, so you can use that to then reset AVADA KEDAVRA. And, you know, it can get a little awkward if you're running around and you run out of your Focus Potion, but very easy to brew, especially with my guide. And now we can just kind of do it all over again for all the enemies that we want. And, okay, like, sure, we got that. You can die, and then that other guy can die, and that's kind of it. Really, the main drawback I've noticed is that having Unforgivable 3 actually makes it difficult to inflict curse on everyone for AVADA KEDAVRA, because they generally get killed by the damage from the curse before I can, like, spread it to everyone. And then, like, yeah, you can just do stuff like that, and alright, we can go boom, and hurt them, and then push them, and then they'll take fall damage, right? No. And I just have some other backup spells while I'm waiting for other things on cooldown if I don't want to permanently spam potions the entire time. So even if you go in with a plan, things can get kind of scuffed. We just used AVADA KEDAVRA. Oh no, there's another enemy here. And then that just kind of goes into that. So boom, potion, boom, Endurance. Even though these spells don't do anything to them, we can just kind of keep going through our rotation while we're invulnerable, and then we just have that. Oh, AVADA KEDAVRA is pretty much back up. Curse can, like, stun them if you need a little bit of time. You can also buy time with Imperio. Whatever. Dead. And then I just come back and restock everything. Because I have Crucio and AVADA KEDAVRA, I don't really need Thunderbrew. Thunderbrew, really good in the story before you unlock curses, so you can just kind of spam that. And then we head down into where I have all my brewing set up. And yeah, we can just keep on going, alright? We have Max Thunderbrew. We use a couple of Maxima Potions, so we can just kind of keep making as many of those as we need. Like I said, Endurance Potions, very easy to make, very easy to get the resources for. And I've beaten the game at this point, so I guess it's just kind of like clearing out, doing quests, getting my levels up and stuff. You can use the Dark Arts rituals to get experience and levels that way, and you can save on resources if you need to. So I don't really know what to do at this point. I'm even like double, triple brewing Focus Potions, because I feel like I kind of solved the game with this one. And because of that, it kind of trivializes traits. Like I said, Unforgivable actually does too much damage in some situations, but if I'm not spamming the Focus Potion, or if AVADA KEDAVRA is on cooldown, then we just, like, play around Crucio and curses. Concentration sounds good, but we're just kind of going for curses and killing people. Now, if you don't want to do a curse playstyle, this is probably going to be pretty good. And then as you KO the enemies, you unlock the resistances for them, so you can find that in the collections. Not collections, challenges. So then you just claim it, and there you go, and you can just put it on your gear. So, like, maybe that's the better way of going about it if it's slightly annoying to brew Endurance Potions too much, or you don't want to have them with 100% uptime because it feels wasteful or something. So I guess you just make your gear tankier against what you're fighting. Most of the camps where you're going to be farming traits are going to have goblins and dark wizards. So you can just put like 3 and 3 for those, or maybe like 2 and 2, and then 1 of everything else. And then you're just going to kind of feel tanky against all the threatening enemies. And that might be a little better. That's kind of the thing about this game. You can just gravitate to what you want to do. Do you want to just use control spells and like zoop people around and stuff? Do you want to explode people? Or do you just want to kill them? And then you can be a brewmaster and win almost exclusively with basic attacks and Maxima Potion plus Thunder Brew. And maybe you can just find a fun little playstyle by using the combat plants as well. It's all viable, it's all good, but what I found is the best. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.